What I'm going to do right now is give you a little tutorial on journal assignment 1. So we're here on the, and journal assignment 1 is one of the steps, I would call them preliminary steps. It's also called pre-writing in preparation for writing your essay 1, right? Essay 1 is not due this week or next week because I want you to write, you have a discussion post and then you have this journal number 1 and then also journals numbers 2 through 5. So several steps before writing the essay. So we're here in the welcome page, and I'm doing this on V05, but it also applies to English 100 V06. So probably the best place to start is to go to course content to find the assignment, journal assignment 1. There are many places to find it. Probably the most convenient is week 1, right? Right here on week 1, you can see, if you scroll all the way to the end, you can see that this week you have a discussion 1 due, but the one I'm focusing on here is number 311, journal assignment 1, or JA1 for short, right? You can see that it's due on the 29th by 11:59 p.m. There's also a late deadline, but I recommend that you turn this in on time. If late, then 1 day late or something like that, because you will have other assignments due right afterwards. Don't get caught in that trap of late work, in a cycle of late work. Okay, so let's assume that it's due this week, right? So before I click on it, let me also take a moment to kind of speak about navigation, how to get there other ways, right? I created many different places for that. For example, on the side here, in the side menu, right, the left menu, you see journal assignments. And there it is, right? The same thing. You click on it from there, it'll work, right? By the way, if ever the links don't work, shoot me a text on Pronto or something and let me know right away. And then I'll fix the broken links. Okay, I'll go back to course content because that's where the week 1 thing was, right? But before I go back into week 1, I'll go right here into assignments and final exam, because it's called drilling down when you go down a series of folders until you get to the thing you need, right? And so I clicked on course content, and then there was that, assignments and final exam, and then you click on journal assignments, right? And then there it is, right? And it's just like the link over there. I can go back to the beginning in course content, or I can use these little menus, not menus, but little links at the top, right? And they go back to the bigger folder. So I think I could go back to assignments and final exam, and you can also find the journals with the essay that they're for, right? So if I click on essay assignments and then essay 1 assignment, see, here's a little video about essay 1, right? And then there's the discussion because it's for essay 1, and then here is the journal, right? The one that I'm going to talk to you about and show you. I'm actually going to show you my journal. You can also see the instructions for the essay, right? Because and notice, like I said, that essay is due later on, October 10th, right? I'm doing this on August 27th, right? So we have plenty of time for this essay, and I really want to emphasize that you should do the work step by step, all right? So that every piece that you create is very well done, and then you put all those well done pieces together and you have a beautiful essay, right? Nothing will be perfect, but it'll be much better than if you rush through every paragraph and then turn in whatever, right? Last minute. So this is not designed for last minute work. So, I am not going to say that I'm not a procrastinator, because I am, and I think probably a lot of people are. Well, this isn't for us procrastinators. I've designed it so that you go step by step and do good work along the way. Okay, so we go back then. I'm going to go back to course content. I could use that link or this link over here. So I'll use the one on top, right? And then I'm going to go back to week 1, okay? Because this is the most convenient place. Notice you have eventually this video that I'm making will appear here and in the other locations that I've shown you, right? Okay, so I'm going to click on it. Journal assignment JA1, brainstorm unordered list. So what is that? What is a brainstorm and unordered list? You may have done this before in previous classes you've taken. Here are the instructions, okay? Now, when I'm ready to work, I'm going to, when I'm ready to turn it in, I'm going to use this create journal entry, okay? But before I do that, let me show you. And actually, I'm going to increase the size. I'm doing Control plus, I'm zooming in, right? These are the 5 basic steps. 1, on a Word or similar document, type your brainstorm, which is a list about one of your hobbies or pastimes, a specific thing you do for fun. In the discussion, by the way, in the discussion assignment, you said what you liked, your favorite thing about 2 or 3 hobbies or pastimes, and you said what your least favorite aspect about those 2 or 3 hobbies, right? And you made a post about that, and then other people, at least 3 people, are going to reply. Or rather, the way it works, you need to reply to other people's posts, right? That's the discussion. So basically, if you've done that, right, now you can't write about 2 or 3 anymore. Now you have to pick 1, right? About 1 hobby or pastime that you're going to write your essay about eventually, right? This is preparation for that. So I want you to do it on a Word document, okay? On a word process document, and attach it. When we click on create journal entry, there's a place to attach a document that you've created separately. That's my preference, okay? But for those of you who want to create it there inside the journal little message box, you can do that too. But I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna show you that I did mine on a Word document. You would save your document, right? And it should have one of these file extensions. If you're using a Mac, it probably won't have one of those doc extensions unless you save it as a Word document. You have to select the Word document thing. Down here it says, may I use a computer, a Mac? And I said, yes. Just make sure you save it or resave it as this, or else it might not work. I won't be able to open it. Okay. So press create journal entry, type the title JA1, and then attach your Word document. So that's after you've already done your document. And like I said, if you prefer to put it in the little box that's inside the journal entry, you may do that. What's your journal entry about? So under guidelines, what do I write about in my journal entry? Well, keep in mind that in your essay 1, you're going to write about 3 important aspects about that one hobby that you're focusing on, right? Now watch this note here. Let's pay attention. Let's focus our attention on that. Write based on your experience. So if you're gonna write about soccer, you know what? I've seen students in the past. This is an actual example. The student told me like the dimensions of the soccer field, you know, like it's this long by this wide, and the goalpost, I'm sorry, but that wasn't the student's experience, right? That really does, sure it matters, of course it's important, but it wasn't the student, I'm gonna say it like this, kind of wasted a paragraph where he didn't mention any of his experience with soccer, and it still told me a bunch of technical stuff, right? History, unless it's really important to you, right, might not be the most important thing. I'm mostly experienced on how you interact with that hobby or pastime. 3 things that are important to you about the hobby or pastime. Now that's the way the essay will be. This assignment, this journal assignment, you don't need to already decide on what those 3 things are. But I'm telling you that in the future, you're gonna get those 3 things out of these brainstorms, these journals that you've done, okay? I'm recommending 20 or more phrases. And as I say that, I don't even know if I had 20. I think I did. But if I only have 18 or 19, forgive me, right? And I would forgive you too if you fall short a couple or so, right? That's fine, right? I mean, do as many as you can. Don't try to write the items in order. Brainstorm is like a storm, and unfortunately there are lots of storms, and they always cause a big mess, right? That mess is problematic when it's in real life. But on a piece of paper, it's okay when it's a brainstorm. Just put them, the point is that you don't, if you try to put them in order, like if you try to do this 3 important things on this assignment, it's gonna take you forever. When I did my journal, when I do a brainstorm, I can do 20 things in about you know, it just depends on my typing speed or my writing speed, but I can do it in 2 minutes, and so can you, you know, just write all the things, many things that are important to you, okay? And then it says here, please see my sample, my JA1. Press the link under, so basically that's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a sample, and the sample will be attached, within this video, because I don't think it's, yeah, this might be wrong. I don't think it's attached to the journal. It isn't attached. So I'm going to attach it with this video that I'm creating right now, okay? Now, make sure you read these other guidelines carefully, all right? But I don't want to go into them because I want to get to the point, right? So what I have here is already the finished product. If you do it in a Word document, you know, this is the kind of heading that you're going to have on your essay. So if you don't manage to get the heading just right, don't worry about it, right? But I just went ahead and put, and notice how I put first name, last name, because you would put your own first name and last name. On English 0100, you would put V05 or V06, and on month you would put whenever you're turning it in. For example, August 29, 2020, right? And then up here, if you can figure out how to do a little heading up here, you would put your last name and one. If you can't, don't worry about it for this. For the essay, I'll give you a little video on how to create the format. Please give it this title, Journal Assignment 1, Brainstorm Unordered List for Essay 1. Or, you know, I think I overdid it on this. This title could be as simple as JA1, you know, Journal Assignment 1. But probably this is a better title, right? More descriptive. And then here it is. Here it is. I mean, simply stated, you know, you're not watching me as I'm going through the process. I already did it. But the first thing that came to mind was, oh, I play it every day. I play a ukulele, which is a little guitar, right? I learned about it from my office next door neighbor at STC. And so, true story, you know, an instructor who teaches developmental writing, but also teaches music. He was playing the ukulele to prepare for a class. He was going to show some students how to play the ukulele, and you know, because it was a music appreciation class. Anyway, so that's a thought that I have now. That notice, I'm telling you a lot in words, but that sentence is real short. Those words will then later appear in my essay, like the expanded explanation. All this is, the point of this is to get ideas. What's a ukulele? A small guitar. It has 4 string. It looks like a toy. Learning to play guitar too. So somewhere I'll mention that it's helped me start learning how to play the guitar, the bigger instrument also. And so on and so forth, right? The key to this is that it's not in order. I didn't say, okay, I'm going to say 3 things and then I'm going to give the details about each one. No. But these things will then become in journal assignment 2 later. This will become, I will then organize it into 3 things. So this assignment should actually be very easy, right? Because you don't have to worry about that somewhat difficult task of putting things in order. Okay. So that's pretty much it. That's how you do the journal assignment. Okay. Now, let's say that I wanted to post this. Oh yeah, let me go to here, create journal entry. I would give it the title, instead of said JA1, right? JA1, JA2, whatever it is. Here I wouldn't put anything because I'm going to attach a document. So I go to browse my computer. I look for my document wherever it is, right? Let me see if I can find it real quick. I don't want to spend too much time. Yeah, here it is. Here's mine. So I would attach it from here, double click or click and then open, right? Okay, there it is. And so there it is. And then I would hit post entry. Now, in my case, I'm going to cancel it. I would cancel it because I'm not actually going to do it. It's not going to go anywhere because I'm not a student. What I could also do, let's say you want to type it out. You know what? If you type it out on Word, just go ahead and attach it. But for right now, I'm going to pretend that I didn't type it out, right? But rather that in a Word document, but rather than I went to create journal entry, I put JA1, and then I typed it in the box. So, and I'm trying to achieve that by pasting it, right? So notice you can just paste it in, you can just type it in here, right? And then just put post entry. So in your case, you would not browse my computer or anything because you're just doing it directly there.